So we're back at it. And we got Adam Kownacki, who got a very solid victory over Chris Arreola. Now, a couple things what I don't like about Adam Kownacki. He's willing to take these shots. He's willing to get hit in order to dish out punishment. And I don't see that working in fights against, let's say, Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. I don't see that working. I see that being a problem. A big problem. So let's think about it, man. If Adam Kownacki has his chin in the air and is getting hit like he did against Chris Arreola, he's going to have a big problem against Deontay Wilder. He's going to have a very big problem. He will not be able to deal with a long right hand with his current defensive posture. He needs to add in what Tyson Fury was doing, which was using a head movement and using distance. The problem with Kownacki is he hasn't fought a long-range bomber. And he needs to get on the inside of Deontay Wilder's power in order to be effective.
Gear up for the weekend at Walmart.
Otherwise, he will not be effective. Right? He's just going to be sitting on the end of Deontay Wilder's punches. So, in terms of what Kownacki brings to the table, he's a pressure fighter. He's a solid fighter. Do I see him beating Deontay Wilder? No. No, I don't see it. I don't think he beats Anthony Joshua. I don't think he beats Deontay Wilder. And if you were to fight Andy Ruiz, that fight is an absolute war. That's a real war. I would love to see that fight. But I think Andy Ruiz has faster hands, and I think Andy Ruiz would also get the best of Kownacki. For sure. But you know what? Let's talk about the Luis Ortiz situation. And we're going to bring it back to Tyson Fury. Believe me. But when it comes to Luis King Kong Ortiz, I swear some people have second thoughts and shit. They wish they wouldn't have to fight Luis Ortiz. They wish Deontay Wilder wouldn't have to be fighting Luis Ortiz. Because it's a trap fight. That's a trap fight for Deontay Wilder. Because if Luis Ortiz shows up like he did in that first fight, it could be the same story all over again. We could see Deontay Wilder in danger for the first time in a very long time. Right? And Deontay Wilder will have to show massive heart once again and fight through the storm, which he did in the first fight. But if I'm Deontay Wilder, I try and hurt Luis Ortiz as soon as possible. I try and get him cold early on and just try and take the wind out of them sails. Maybe go to the body like he did against Dominic Breazeale. Early on, he landed a very stiff body shot. He needs to do something to really slow down Luis Ortiz to make sure he doesn't get hit with the bombs he got hit with. But Kownacki, I think he needs a couple more fights before he gets in there with Deontay Wilder. I think he needs a couple more fights. He needs to fight a guy like a Malik Scott just to get him ready for the range. He needs to fight a Malik Scott or a Luis Ortiz who has similar reach as a Deontay Wilder. He really needs to adapt himself to that kind of range, I think, before he gets in there with Deontay Wilder. Because it cannot be... The speed and the power is unique to Wilder. But if he can get used to that range, it's going to help him a lot. Because then, the thing about Wilder, and this is the secret to beating Wilder. This is the secret to beating Deontay Wilder. If you can make him miss, he needs some time after he... Deontay Wilder has a fatal flaw. Is he throws so many power shots, he takes some rounds off. So you need to avoid the big shots and catch him after he's exerted himself. Jump on the inside of him. Don't let him grab you. And fight him like an Andre Ward would. That's how you can beat a Deontay Wilder. Fight him on the inside. Be scrappy. Don't let him hold on to you. Bang his body a little bit. Use your head like an Evander Holyfield would. Take the starch out of his legs. Hit him to the kidney if you need to. You got to fight fucking dirty sometimes. Especially with a power puncher like Deontay Wilder. You got to make him uncomfortable. You got to make him uncomfortable. And once you do that, you get him a little bit winded, and you need to take advantage. But you got to show excellent defense. You need to show excellent defense because you cannot get hit with those shots. Otherwise, you're going to be the one on the back foot, thinking twice. It's going to sound funny, but I always thought if Deontay Wilder ever fought Bryant Jennings, I always thought that could be a very tough fight for him. I don't think Bryant Jennings would beat a Deontay Wilder, but I think he would have a very hard time in certain rounds. I think you'd see Bryant Jennings maybe having some success because of the way he fights. Because of the way he fights. And oddly enough, there's no elite heavyweight that can mimic that kind of style. It's rare to see the Joe Frazier type guy. But that's who beats Deontay Wilder. Or has a very good chance of doing so. But when it comes to Tyson Fury, I don't know where he stands right now in the heavyweight division. I don't really know if he wants a Deontay Wilder rematch. I don't know if he really needs to fight these two guys to restore his confidence. But he knows the path he's taking will eventually lead to a Deontay Wilder fight. I don't think he can get out of that. He will not be able to get out of that. Because he did really poor numbers in that fight against Tom Schwartz. And I don't expect Otto Wallen to do any bigger numbers than he did against Tom Schwartz. So he's going to have some poor performances. And the Deontay Wilder fight is where ESPN can get their money back. And maybe make some profit. Right? So it's going to be interesting how it plays out. But that's how I see heavyweight landscape. I mean, Anthony Joshua's going to be fighting Andy Ruiz. We all know that fight's going down. Joshua Ruiz, I mean, that is going to be an exciting night because of what happened on their very first fight. Because Joshua looks so out of sorts. He looks so tense. Looks so nervous. Will he be able to pull it all together on one night? Wherever it is. Joshua needs to forget about the venues and all that extra shit. And he needs to focus on his game. What the fuck? Hold on a second. Man, I got some cops trying to get past me. Hold on a second. Alright. So they're off my trail, so to speak. I always get fucking pissed off when a cop is right behind me, so gotta make sure I ain't doing anything illegal and shit. Anyways, can Anthony Joshua pull it together? I think he's gonna fight a bit more of a spirited fight, and I think he's gonna try and pace himself a bit better. You know, in the first fight, he kind of blew his gas tank when he hurt Andy Ruiz, and then when he got hurt, he was not able to recover. Point blank and period, he was not able to recover. So there's a lot he's got to work on. There's a whole lot he's got to work on. And I do expect Andy Ruiz to get the best of Anthony Joshua in that fight. If that's the same Andy Ruiz that shows up, and that fight is in the US or in North America somewhere, I expect Andy Ruiz to get the nod and defeat Anthony Joshua in similar fashion. And salute to Andy Ruiz. I mean, first Mexican heavyweight champion. He really turned it around. So give him a ton of credit, man. One of the better performances from a heavyweight, star-making performance in defeating Anthony Joshua. And I definitely want to see him get back in there with AJ and prove he is the better man. Once again, prove it wasn't a fluke. And take AJ's head off. You know, just take his head off and send him back to the UK. You know, whatever the case may be. If AJ's the real deal, he'll show up, and it's gonna be a back and forth action fight. He's gonna push himself to the limit, and it's gonna be like the Klitschko fight all over again. But he's in there with the dog and Andy Ruiz. That's dead game. That will go to the death. So that has great fight written all over it. And I think once that fight, going into that fight, there will be the essence of greatness in the heavyweight division once again. Whoever comes out winning. There's going to be a whole lot of momentum for the winner of that fight and the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Luis King Kong Ortiz. So I definitely look forward to those two matchups going down. And we'll see how it all plays out. For now, it's E-King Fight News. Let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'm gone, man.